What's up, everybody? It's your boy Damo Flips. Just picked up another car. Leroy had it down here. I'm going to get into it with you once I get some shit situated. But this story today is about what I'm currently going through with ACV.
That's my best friend. That's my best friend.
Now, full disclosure, I am a huge fan of ACV. I buy the majority of my cars, my running and driving cars, through ACV. Running and driving, similar to Copart, is something that is all over the spectrum, okay? So, story number one, issue number one, which has not been resolved. Neither one of these two issues have been resolved. I bought if you look back at my videos going on a year ago, it was like a 2002 Hyundai Tiburon, okay? Ended up selling the car last May, if I'm not mistaken, all right? So, sell the car, no problem. We have the title, no problem. Everything is above board, okay? We sell the car to the buyer, and it comes back, when we go to do the paperwork, it comes back as I guess someone had died who had the car prior. We needed to get a death certificate in order to complete the paperwork. In the state of Florida, you are allowed to issue a 30-day temp tag. You, under extreme circumstances, can then reissue another 30-day temp tag for a total of 60 days. It's frowned upon. But who the fuck is frowning, right? Like, look, this is what happens, this is it, not a big deal. That being said, ACV asks for the title back. So the car's sold. We collected the money for the car. The car's sold. There's been work done to it, etc., etc. They say, okay, send us the title back, and we will have the seller get you, the information you need. The seller goes to get the information. They can't do it either. This goes on for about a month or two. All right. Luckily, the buyer on our end is like the nicest people in the world. You don't find customers like this too often. They are okay. They parked the car in the garage. They ended up buying another vehicle anyway, okay? So now ACV comes back and says, hey, you have to get a bonded title and give that to the buyer. So I said, okay. I asked the buyer, hey, would you guys consider taking a bonded title? For those of you guys who don't know what a bonded title is, it's when something happens, like not being able to get a death certificate, and you can't get the title, so they'll put a bond of double the value of the vehicle. The bond is only like $111, okay? Then you take it to your local DMV office or tax collector's office, or wherever you do your title work, and they will issue you a title, and it's going to be branded bonded title for 3 years. If no one comes and claims ownership on that vehicle, then you're good to go. They'll remove the bond and you're good. Done. End of story. But obviously this guy's not, because he's dead. So the buyer says, no, I bought a clean title car. I want a clean title. To be honest with you, they're 100% correct. If I go and I buy a car with a clean title, I want a clean title. I don't want it to be rebuilt, salvaged, bonded, etc. So I come back to ACV, and they're like, okay, we'll get back to you in a few days, and we'll get to the bottom of this. Okay. It's now April, and this is back in like November, December. Remember, I'm just a dealer rep. I don't own the dealership. So their answer is, okay, they want me to get the bonded title in the dealership's name, run it through ACV, whatever it sells for, they'll make up the difference with a check. Okay, not really the way it should be, because I believe that all this responsibility should fall on the seller's shoulders, not mine. The right thing to do, in my opinion, is either give me the money so I could refund my buyer in full, meaning I still make a profit because I did the right thing, and you get the car back, or two, refund me the money for the repairs I put into the vehicle, because again, I did the right thing. Not to mention, I took a loss on this car because I didn't realize how much I put into this car in repairs. Regardless to what's going on here, they don't want to do either one of those things. They just want me to handle it, and I feel like I had no choice, so I was like, okay, I guess I can. So here we are. The buyer wants their money back, rightfully so. So I tell them, okay, let me see what I could do. And at this point, I feel like my name's getting dragged through the mud because I'm their only contact person. So, long story longer, I get with ACV. I sent them a message. I get no response. Now I'm going to have to call them. And it's a big deal. The people I'm dealing with at ACV are very nice. ACV as a whole, they hire really nice people. The problem is when situations like this arise, they don't really know how to handle it. You know, and just on a side note, the only reason why I'm in the right here is because I did get a title. Had I not received the title, I would be in the wrong. Because you never do work to a car and you never sell a car that you don't have the title for. It happens all the time, but in a situation like this, if things go bad, you're fucked. Plain and simple, you're fucked. You're giving the car back with all the repairs done, you're not getting your money back. So that's where we're at now. So my title clerk is telling me, she's like, hey, I've been to DMV twice. And I'm making her go to DMV, the tax collector's office, prior to getting the bond because I want to make sure that once we get the bond, it's a go, okay? So, this front tire is really out of round. So, every time she goes there, she's been told, number one, we can't do it because we don't have the title because ACV sent the title back to the original seller. So, we no longer have the title. Number two, we can't do it because we're not the original dealer who took it in from the deceased party. So this is twice we've been turned down now. I'll keep you posted to how ACV handles it. I'm at the point now where I'm like, listen, I got a guy that gets me titles. This isn't the first time a title's been lost or washed or whatever. So I call my guy up and he'll get me a title. It's not a big deal. You know, I'll wait 30 days. So I'm going to tell them, listen, just reimburse the buyer. I'll take the L on the amount of money I put in repairs because I sold the car anyway knowing I took the L. And I'll keep the car for the price difference. And then I'll lay out the $500 it's going to cost me to get the new title, which is roughly going to put me in a 2002 Hyundai Tiburon for $1,000. So chances are when I go to sell it, I'm probably just going to end up breaking even. But the main thing is that the buyer gets their money back. And I already told the buyer, regardless to what happens, I got your money. Bring me the car. I will write you a check for the money you spent on the vehicle, the purchase price, and we'll move the fuck on. Because there's no way, those people are so nice that they've waited so long, there's no way in hell they should have to wait any longer. They should not have had to wait this long. All right? So here's situation 2 with ACV. ACV's kind of new policy with arbitration is pretty simple. You arbitrate the car, so I'm arbitrating a vehicle right now, and it's for a transmission slip, which, I mean, you could clearly feel it. So I said, I was like, hey, do you want me to take video? They said, yep, you can take video, but it needs this, this, this. Okay. But then, not only with the video, I still have to take it to a franchise dealership, okay? So I'm like, well, then fuck the video because I'm going to just take it to the franchise dealership no matter what. So the video is really going to do nothing for us in this situation, right? There was a time when you, like with the Honda Accord issue, I was able to take the video and you could see that the car was slipping and they simply, you know, went through with the arbitration. There was also a time where you could take it to any mechanic. All of us car dealers usually have a mechanic that we use. And you could submit the diagnostics from your mechanic and everything's fine. They don't want to do that anymore. Now they want franchise dealerships. Again, that's fine. They're footing the bill for the diagnostic fees. So I'm good with that. long story longer, I took this car 2 weeks ago to Chevy. And it's a 2006 Pontiac, okay? It's the one I spent the $1,300 on with the stimulus money, which is a whole nother aspect of the story, but we'll get to that at a later date. So anyway, I took it to them 2 weeks ago. They did say that they were backed up. I dropped it off on a Friday. They told me the following Monday they were going they told me that the following Wednesday they were going to get on it. Not a big deal. You know, do your thing. I understand that you're busy. Well, we've been going back and forth with them now for about a week, and they're telling us they lost the keys. That's a problem, because now no work's been done to the car. ACV is telling us, like, hey, we're just going to close this out. You guys don't want to get this shit done. So I'm writing back to him like, listen, it's you. You're the one who told me to bring it there, okay? I did what you told me to do. I brought it there. I can't tell them when to get to their cars. I have no control over how people do their business. That's number one. Number two, you could have simply sent someone out to drive the car, and they could have confirmed that the transmission slips. A slipping transmission is not a big deal, okay? You could confirm that. Number three, you could have let me take it to my mechanic, who would have checked it out, ran the codes, sent you the diagnostics, and everyone would have moved the fuck on and everyone's happy. But now, because you made me bring it to this place that's taking their sweet ass time, there is nothing I can do about it, okay? With that being said, what am I supposed to do? So anyways, 2 days ago or 3 days ago, they decided that they wanted to close out the case. And I simply wrote them everything that I just said to you. And that's where we're at. So we're gonna see what happens, what comes about with this, because, you know, I'm certainly not happy with the fact that he even said that he was going to close it out, knowing damn well the car has been with Chevy this whole time. Like, this isn't a situation where the car is just sitting here and I'm trying to fuck them over and get the money. But we'll see, and I'll keep you guys posted. Like I said, 90% of the time, ACV is good with us. They're good with everyone, from what I understand. Yes, their arbitration rate is high, because keep in mind, like at a lot like this, you really can't test drive the car, right? So the motor sounds good, but how do you know about the transmission? And this is why I'm very skeptical about buying cars through third-party dealers, because they just don't have the space at most of their dealerships to actually drive a car. As we're a franchise dealer, they're probably on an acre or two, so you can drive it a little bit better. ACV does not provide their inspectors with dealer tags or transporter tags, from what I was told, is because of the legality of it. They don't want to be held accountable if something happens, which is understandable. With all that being said, that's the best I could do for you guys today on an ACV issue, but I will let you know exactly where we are with this guy, with both of these cases, and we'll see how it goes from there, you know. Also, another thing, that's it. Guys, have a good one. I'm out.
That's my best friend. That's my best friend.